Hello, Tigers. My name is Jasper, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Tiger Television. In this week's episode, we'll take a look at a few of Wheaton's recent economic redevelopment projects, learn the pronunciation of this word, as well as its connection to a teacher at South, and much more. For this week's Get to Know Your Teacher segment, I sat down with foreign language instructor Senora Bergeson. She had a wealth of information to share. Let's see what she had to say.
I'm Angela Bergeson, and I teach Spanish 2 and Spanish 4 this year. Well, let's see. I taught in Mexico for many years, Mexico City, and I taught English there and a little bit of German, but mostly English. Well, I know Spanish. I can speak English very well too. I studied German. I have an undergrad degree in German, and I lived in Germany and in Switzerland for a year in each of those places. And really, that's it. I've taken some evening classes of French because I like to travel, but I am nowhere near fluent. But I'd like to learn it. Well, I started off with German, and I was in Europe, and I traveled to Spain a couple of times, and I loved the country, and people would say things to me, and I couldn't understand it. And so I said, I've got to learn Spanish. And so when I came back to the United States, I was now in college, I started to learn Spanish. And I think it's an extremely good skill and very useful if you live in the United States to speak Spanish. Plus, it's one of the most widely spoken languages in the world, after Mandarin and languages of India. Then you have English and Spanish. So it's very popular. I would. It's, first of all, if you're studying a language and you spend a semester or a year in a country that speaks that language, you will become so fluent so quickly. And secondly, besides learning a different language, it's so much fun. They always give you time to travel, and you meet new people, and you learn so many different things. And when you travel to other countries and spend some time there, you learn about your own country too, because in your mind you're comparing. I recommend it for everybody. Okay, well, Popocatépetl is the name of a mountain, or more specifically, a volcano outside of Mexico City. And I lived in Mexico City for 8 years. And during the wintertime, I would start getting nostalgic for snow, like around Christmas. Palm trees, heat. It just didn't feel like Christmas. So I'd say to my husband, we've got to go find some snow. And we would go to Popocatépetl. Popocatépetl is about an hour outside of Mexico City, and it's almost 18,000 feet high. So it's covered with snow. And some people climb the whole mountain, but you have to train for that. But you can also just go and hike a little bit. So one December day, we drove out to Popocatépetl, and we were hiking, and I was with my daughter and my husband, and we started hiking up, and I keep saying, oh, it's kind of getting overcast, and maybe we should turn back. But my husband said, no, let's go more, más. So anyway, we hiked for a few hours, and all of a sudden, a blizzard. And most people don't think of Mexico and snow, but it's high up, so they do have snow. We had little sweaters on or a light jacket, and we couldn't see anything. We were stuck on the side of a mountain. The path was all covered with snow within a short period of time, and I really thought we might die up there because we couldn't see anything and it was getting darker. So we just kept on going down, And eventually, freezing, it was just freezing, we saw a light in the distance, which was the lodge, and we made it back down. It was like, what a sense of relief. So anyway, you have to be careful and be prepared if you're climbing in the mountains, even in what many people consider a tropical country. So I've had a lot of experiences because I've lived in a lot of different places. So.
I was so intrigued by Senor Bergeson's anecdote about Popocatépetl that I decided to travel there myself. Behind me stands the volcano at almost 18,000 feet in height. How, might you be wondering, did this majestic yet intimidating formation of nature get its name? The name Popocatépetl is the conglomerate of the stems Popoca, meaning it smokes, and Tepetl, meaning mountain. So the literal translation of Popocatépetl is smoking mountain. How fitting for a volcano. Well, the etymology of the word is simple enough to understand, the pronunciation isn't. Let's see how our fellow tigers stepped up to the challenge in this week's edition of Pronounce That Volcano!
Popocatépetl. I don't know. Popocatépetl. Popocatépetl, 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 Popocatépetl.
It's safe to say that Popocatépetl just might be the world's hardest volcano name to pronounce. Huh? Oh. Well, I stand corrected. That record still belongs to Iceland's Eyjafjallajökull. In local news, several economic redevelopment projects are in full swing in the downtown Wheaton area. We'll now spotlight 3 of those projects. While taking a stroll around historic downtown Wheaton, one is sure to smell change in the air. And by change, I mean the smell of pollution originating from downtown construction sites. What has brought about all of the recent construction and, more importantly, what is being constructed? Number 1 on our tour is the city block bounded by Front, Cross, Wesley, and Scott Streets. This lot existed as a vacant pseudo-park directly south of the library. In the mid-2000s, a 3-building condominium complex, aptly named West Scott Crossing, was proposed for the lot. Demolition ensued without incident, however, construction was put on a standstill when the housing market crashed. The original developer, Norwood Builders, eventually lost interest in the financial incentive in retaining the lot. In May and June of 2012, a new developer, Chicago-based Morningside Group, approached the city of Wheaton with a proposal for developing a unique rental community in the heart of the downtown area. What can be seen now is the fruition of that proposal. Welcome to Wheaton 121, a 6-story luxury apartment complex that promises such superfluous amenities as heated underground parking, an on-site fitness center, a private theater, and an enclosed park. The behemoth of a structure, which is expected to be complete by the end of this summer, will undoubtedly benefit surrounding businesses. Speaking of surrounding businesses, welcome to the future site of Mariano's Fresh Market. What used to be the site of Hubbell Middle School is being redeveloped into a grocery store. Despite years of planning and speculation among the school district, the park district, the city, and area residents, which resulted in proposals ranging from a Costco to a movie theater to yet another high-rise condominium complex, the final decision to construct a grocery store on the hallowed grounds of Wheaton students was made when it was determined that the majority of the lot would be unfit for construction. The existence of a floodplain deterred even the most adventurous developers from tackling construction beyond the corner of Roosevelt and Naperville roads. Additionally, downtown residents have been in need of a nearby grocery store since the closing of this Jewel Osco in the mid-2000s. On that note, what is to become of the former Jewel Osco? Well, no planned unit developments have been submitted to the City Council as of yet. Mayor Michael Gresk hinted at the possibility of upcoming development at the site in January at the 2013 State of the City address.
And lastly, the former downtown jewel store is being redeveloped, and it'll be a 3-story, 40,000 square foot medical office building.
Beyond the 3 projects that we've taken a look at today, there are several other economic developments to be found in the Wheaton area. After a period of post-recession dormancy, growth is again in full swing. We'll take a look at a few other development projects later this spring. Now it's time for This Week in History. On February 18, 1885, Samuel Langhorne Clemens, more commonly known as Mark Twain, published The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. At the time of its publishing, the satirical novel was considered highly controversial. Such sentiments still exist today, but for reasons other than those in the past. And on February 24, 1859, the budding town surrounding the Wheaton Depot train station was incorporated as a village under the supervision of village president Warren Wheaton. Over the next 154 years, that village would develop into a city of over 50,000 residents. This school and many of its students are proud to call that city their home. Happy birthday, Wheaton! This concludes today's episode of Tiger Television. Once again, my name is Jasper, and on behalf of all of us here in Contemporary Broadcast Media, I hope you'll have a great weekend.